Hey everyone, Kevin Lewis here with Home Life Benchmark Titus Realty. It's August, and that means it's time for your August Fraser Valley Real Estate Update. If you remember last month, in June 2019, we actually had the slowest month, in my opinion, ever, considering the number of new homes that have been built since the year 2000, which technically had fewer sales. Now, you would think that July 2019 would have kept that trend alive. However, last July 2018 was when we started to see the trend of slower activity overall. This month happened to be the opposite for this year, and we actually saw a 12% increase month to month from June 2019 to July 2019, and we saw a 13% increase in number of sales from July 2018 to last month in July 2019. So you're probably asking yourself, what does this mean and why is this happening? Well, basically what it means is that sellers have finally started to accept the fact that prices just simply aren't what they were a year ago. Because the sellers are realizing that, they're allowing their homes to sell for what the market would indicate that they should be selling for in today's market. And that in itself is creating some stability in the market, as more sellers that are willing to accept the same lower price this year than they would last year is creating that stability by having a higher number of sales coming in at the same average price point. This would lead me to believe that we're likely to see prices pretty much level off where they are, depending on your neighborhood and your property type, which again, I can't stress enough that your unique situation is exactly that and unique to you. Overall, though, I'm pretty certain that the market is going to stay pretty relatively level for the next couple of months through fall, and we're probably going to see prices drop again throughout the winter. I really can't stress enough how much I mean that your situation is unique to you, as we can take a couple different examples. Langley City, for example, actually last month saw prices for detached homes go up by about $10,000, and we saw the attached condos drop by about $10,000 on average for a unit, whereas the Fraser Valley didn't see these same numbers as a whole. And that just shows that one little neighborhood, your neighborhood maybe, could be completely different than what the stats are saying here. So definitely get in touch with me if you have any questions about your property or your next move, because we need to make a plan catered towards you, not a general plan based on what these stats are saying. So if there's any thought whatsoever, like I say, get in touch, give me a call, send me an email, text, leave a comment below. Whatever way you want to get in touch with me, I'm more than happy to answer your questions and help you make a plan and help you make the decision whether now or whether waiting is the best move for you. On average, homes are taking about 37 days to sell, if they sell at all, of course, because we don't count homes that don't sell in those 7 days, because we don't know how long it takes to sell a house that doesn't sell. So we can't account for those numbers, but on average, we're looking at about 37 days for a home to sell. Again, this is the Fraser Valley for all property types, so your situation is going to be different on what you're looking at. But what we can always draw from this number here is houses that are priced correctly will always sell faster than a house that somebody's just hoping and praying that they get way more money than their home is actually worth. The reality is, in a couple years ago market, if you overpriced a home, you might get lucky and might get a buyer that's willing to pay that higher price, continue to drive the market up. However, when prices are coming down or staying stable like they are and the overall activity is quite low, pretty much the chance is that you're just going to sit there and have the house sit on the market, and you're not going to have any buyers come and look at it. If they do, they might put an offer in at the market value, and a lot of sellers, I'm finding, when they get market value offers, feel offended because they think their home is worth what it should have been worth a year ago. So if you are working as a buyer, definitely feel free to put an offer in at the market value. You never know if you don't try, right? If you're trying to sell your house, well, you definitely have to price it properly, and you have to expect to see offers coming in at the market value. We're simply not in the type of market anymore where buyers are overpaying for homes, unless you have a super spectacular home that somehow is drawing in all the buyers and it's just the perfect home for everybody. But then again, we're still going to be looking at market value for the home. The market value will simply just be higher than what the other homes that are similar to it are. One really interesting stat that I noticed for July 2019 was the fact that we actually had a 19.2% active listings to sales ratio. Now what this means is that 19.2% of homes that were listed actually sold. You're probably thinking that this is a relatively low number. However, we've defined in the Fraser Valley anything from 12% to 20% is considered a balanced market. Anything above 20% is considered a seller's market, and anything below 12% is considered a buyer's market. So compared to what we felt for the last several years, this feels like more of a buyer's market right now. However, we are in that balanced market, and we're actually substantially closer to being considered into that seller's market by being only 0.8% off. What does this mean for the actual market overall? Well, things are still recovering from the last few years of prices increasing, and we tend to have short-term memory as human beings, and we're looking at things in comparison to that market. Overall, the market is in very good shape still. Yes, we're seeing numbers drop, but remember, if you're making a move, whatever you're buying into next has also come down in value. So it's all relative at the end of the day. But that 19.2% active to sales ratio is really indicative of the fact that we are in a truly balanced market, and that means that it's a great time to buy or sell if that's what you want to do. If you're not in a rush and you're waiting to buy up, well, maybe the market will come down. Keep in mind, whatever you own now will likely to come down over the winter time as well. Or if you're a first-time buyer, I've preached it before, there's no need to rush into anything because the market likely will come down a little bit more over the winter. But if you're ready to buy now and you find the right place, definitely jump in there, get that place, because I don't see the market coming down a significant amount where you're better off waiting for a place when you already found the perfect place. If you're happy with the number, we'll look things over, make sure that you're not overpaying, of course. But at the end of the day, finding that home that's the right home for you you can't put a price on that. So if you find that home, but you'd rather wait for the market to recover, talk things over, think things over, because you might be better off buying into that home instead of saving that $10,000 in a couple months when you're amortizing that over a 25-year period anyways. It works out to a pretty small amount. Like always, if you ever have any questions or you just want to know what's going on in your neighborhood, or maybe you found a property that you got a couple questions about, definitely feel free to get in touch with me. My number is 604-218-5635. You can email me at kevin@kevinlewis.com. You can leave a comment below. Any way you want to get in touch with me, I'm always happy to answer your questions, and I always look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to next time.